The Bologna Sandwich Show with Julia Bernstein. My mom and dad served bologna sandwiches at their Jewish Pentecostal wedding. And then I was born.
And then I grew up into a bright-eyed, middle-aged dropout queen who has 3 degrees, no career, not married, and still living her best life. Clearly, I'm cut from the same cloth as winners.
And that's exactly why I made the Bologna Sandwich Show. To remind us that everything in life is bologna. The good, the bad, the ugly, the weird. So stop taking yourself so seriously, you. And eat a piece of bologna!
Yay!
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on all social medias. That's bologna!
Yay! This is my Bologna Sandwich Show live with my friend Dicey. I'm going to bring her on in just a minute, but I wanted to get this out of the way up top and show some great videos from our sponsors, the Turtitoids. So here we go.
And now, a word from our sponsors, the Turtitoids.
Vroom, vroom.
Hey, boys and girls, I'm Impalatoid. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And head to Turtitoid.com where you can buy us on some t-shirts.
I'm Dingleberry Toyd. Tell me all of your problems.
No, tell me, silly, tell me.
Tell your problems to Jesus. Tell your problems to him. Tell your problems to Jesus. He'll make them all go away.
No, Daddy, no.
Looks like Jesus left you. Now all you have is me. Tell me all your problems now.
Oh, hey there. Didn't mean to scare you. Just wanted to let you know that I'm the one that's here for you. So go ahead. Tell me all your problems. We'll be waiting.
You know, I just love you, Julia, so much. You are completely insane.
Thank you. And thank you for knowing that and acknowledging it.
You are so welcome.
That's what makes us great friends is well, besides the fact, okay, I'll just say that this is Dicey, my great friend from stand-up comedy. I met you at Marty's over on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood when we were doing stand-up comedy. The first day I met you, I knew that I would like you because we were both wearing short jean shorts. And we are like 2 days apart because you were like, what's your sign? And I said Libra, and we were like 2 days apart. So, and yeah, and
I love that. We've been booty pals ever since.
We've been booty pals. Can you see the comments that are up on? Oh, Amber, my cousin is here. She
Hi,
said,
Amber.
My cousin said, "I love you, but you are insane." I actually have another video after that, but I feel like it's too long. It explains what the Turtitoids are, so maybe I'll show it to the end. But I feel like that was enough of weirdness for the top, right?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, cool. All right. So everyone that's watching right now and everyone that's going to watch the replay, this is Dicey Douglas. Dicey, a comedian I've known for years. We met at Marty's, like I was saying. That was probably 15 years ago, would you say?
Yeah, I would say it was about 15 years ago. That's kind of crazy that we can say 15 years ago and really remember it. You know what I mean?
I think comedy is like that. Comedy is a small world where you meet somebody and then you just comedians don't give up. So we keep doing it. And you kind of stay in the same circle. And just to like give a brief overview, we both have moved away, and then you're in New York right now, right?
I'm in Dallas at the moment, but I live in New York now. Yeah.
And you created a show called Uncivilized, which is a live show and podcast. So I definitely want people to hear about that. And I thought that we could start off by, I don't know, talking about maybe what we've learned from doing comedy. I don't know if you want to go through and kind of tell people what you've done since we first met in stand-up. And we did, oh my God, we did so many projects together. Girl on the Go. You filmed me in my diaper running through the streets of Los Angeles. Yeah. And
you just said that like it's just an afterthought. Yeah, you know, I was just in a diaper through LA. Let me put this into context, y'all. She was in high heels with a purse and a full shirt, like hair done wearing a Depends. And it was a sketch called Girl on the Go. And she convinced me. She was like, I really think this is so funny. And then I showed my mom just randomly. And ever since then, my mom's been obsessed with Julia. I'm like, really? A bitch running around in a diaper? This is what you're obsessed with? She just thought it was the most ridiculous thing. She really got a kick out of that.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it wasn't just her in a diaper. It was her like, and you would just you almost had to ask yourself, wait, do I have X-ray vision right now,
Oh
or
my
is she
God.
just not wearing pants? But
You know what I feel like? I think somebody saw me doing that works in an ad department, because all of a sudden Depends started to run ads of women walking around a big city with diapers on. But we started that, Dicey.
you started that. Don't put that shit on me. You
Oh,
started.
okay, I pulled you in.
I was just there as moral support, and I
Pulled
just
for it.
think it's hilarious.
I wish I had it on hand. I would show it. I forgot to download it. But anyways, yeah, you've been doing stand-up for a long time. You've had a lot of skin in the game. You've been like a writer. Do you want to talk about, I guess, do you want to get first into what we've learned from doing stand-up comedy for so long? Do you want to get into like how you started Uncivilized? I think that's an interesting story. I would
Well, we
love
could
to
talk
hear
about stand-up first, because that kind of is after stand-up. You know what I mean? We could go
that.
chronologically. It probably makes sense
Yeah.
to backtrack. But I've basically been doing stand-up for maybe 14 years. I think this is my 15th year doing stand-up. And I met you like a couple of years after I had started. So that all makes sense timeline wise. But I started, first of all, when I moved to LA, and I think I was 22 or 23. And I don't remember God speaking to me many times at all, but I clearly heard his voice when I was about to land in LA. Out from me moving to LA from Houston, I had 5 bags. That's all I brought with me was 5 bags. And I remember him saying, when you start doing stand-up comedy, you're gonna make it. And I was like, stand up. It was literally the furthest thing from my head. And I just couldn't wrap my mind around that. And so fast forward a couple months, I lived right off of Hollywood Boulevard. I had a cute little studio apartment that was like only $545 back then, which is insane. Now that same place is like 2,300. But anyway, it's really close to Lucky Strike bowling alley, and they had a bar there. So I was sitting at the bar one night, and this black guy, he's an older guy, he was sitting next to me, and we just started talking, and I made him laugh. And it must have been a smart joke, like whatever we were talking, it was about politics or something. And I made him laugh. He was like, that's really clever and funny. Like, you just thought of that? I was like, well, yeah. He was like, do you write? I said, yeah. And long story short, let me put my, oh damn, I need to put my phone.
Were you on stage when you were talking to this guy, or was this at the bar?
No, I wasn't doing stand-up at all at this point.
Okay,
This is when I first moved to LA. This is like 2 months into me moving there.
Okay.
And he said, he was a writer on the Fresh Prince, for like one of the head writers on there. And he was working with this very famous comic. And he was like, I need material. I'm writing stuff for him. I need material. You want to get together and write some stuff? And so anyway, I wrote a couple premises. The comedian loved them. They ended up using it in one of their specials. And I was like, wow, I might have something. Oh, hold on. I gotta turn my phone off. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah. You have any questions about
No,
that?
no, teacher, I don't have any questions about that.
Okay. Well, I'll just keep going.
Yeah, I love that story.
Yeah,
That's
do
such
not
a Hollywood
disturb.
like Halloween story that you would randomly run into somebody that's a writer on a TV show, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
It was crazy, and it was really cool. So I wrote those, and then fast forward another 5 or 6 years, I still didn't want to do stand up myself. And a friend of mine moved to LA. She was a very popular radio personality in Houston. And I told her, I said, look, if you ever decide to move to LA, you could stay with me for free for a year or whatever. So she took me up on that. She came to LA. I wouldn't take any money from her. She tried to pay me anyway, but what she would do was really nice things for me. So she said, you know what? I feel like the missing link in your career is stand-up. So I paid for you to do this stand-up class. And it was Dave Arnold's stand-up class.
Oh my God. Yes. Rest in peace.
So yeah, the late, great Dave Arnold.
Yeah.
And so I did his class, and he took me aside after it's like 8 or 10 weeks or something like that. And then there's a big showcase where he invites industry people or whatever. And afterwards he told me, he said, listen, I don't tell everybody this at all. He said, but you really, really, really need to stick with stand-up. Please stick with this. You really have, you could go places with this. And then I was just obsessed with it because for his class, he required us to go to 3 open mics per week.
Okay.
And he said, you might be serious if you do 3 mics a week. You might be serious about stand-up. That's just how much he was saying we needed to get on stage. So then I started doing just like, I would do like 6 mics in a night sometimes, and have maybe 2 of those were shows or something like that. But when LA pre-COVID, it was so many mics and they were free, and the hang was so cool and so fun. And that's when I met you.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the beginning of my stand-up journey.
Yeah. I kind of had the same thing. I was working as a flight attendant. I was 29, turning 30, and I always wanted to do stand-up. So I took a stand-up comedy course in New York. But what's so crazy is that even when when I was doing stand-up, because I just got back into it like 2 weeks ago, I never felt free. Like I always felt like I was so frustrated because I couldn't be myself. And there's a few times I had a breakthrough, but I hated it. I felt like I was beating a dead horse, like standing over a horse with a switchblade, and the horse was already dead. And I kept just slicing it like a crazy lady, just getting blood all over myself. But anyway, so I kind of stopped doing it. But enough about me. Let's get back to you, Dicey. So you did stand up, and then at what point did you leave LA, and were you there during COVID?
No. So during COVID, right before COVID, I had gotten separated from my ex-husband now. And so we were living separately. And when COVID happened, I know somebody like on Capitol Hill, kind of, that's really close to everything that's happening all the time. And he said, look, you need to get out of LA. You're going to get stuck there because they're going to shut the world down in like 3 days. I'm like, what? And so he was like, no, this is serious. This is a serious thing. And I was working at this nail shop at the time. And I really loved my job. It was in Beverly Hills, really good money, great hours for stand up. They used to let me off whenever I wanted to get off. So I'm a nail artist. I'm a professional nail artist. Anyway, as well, that's one of my side hustles in LA. You got to have a lot, especially doing stand up, because it don't pay that much. Yeah. So I called my dad, and I got one of the next flights out. And I just kind of came home for COVID, and I was here for months. And then until I felt safe to travel, maybe like 4 or 5 months. And then I went back to LA, but I was back and forth during COVID. I've spent most of my time here in Dallas. And that's when I made this, because there was so many Zoom calls and Zoom shows.
You're so handy. And like, for people that have been following my Bologna Sandwich Show, the picture of me dressed in bologna, I'm naked with bologna. This was Dicey's idea. Okay, so I ran into you. God, this was like,
and that was a fun shoot. I shot those pictures too.
You and I we just weren't connected for a while, because I left and you left, and we were doing our own thing. And then randomly I was like, I should see what Dicey's doing, because I had come back to LA, and I'm like, I really want to get my Bologna Sandwich Show going, like be serious about it. And I reached out to you. You happened to be in town. I met you with mimosas pre-made, and we hiked on Laurel. What's it called? Not Laurel Canyon.
Runyon Canyon.
Runyon Canyon. That's where we used to hike all the time. When we did comedy together, we would hike all the time and like spitball ideas and stuff. So anyways, we were talking like 3 years ago.
And just a little aside. Julia, I hadn't seen her in a long time. She came and picked me up from a hostel. Now, mind you, I had just gotten paid a lot of money from the Kevin Hart project that I was doing, this podcast that I was doing. And I could have gotten a hotel room. I was staying with another friend of mine, and she decided to let this guy come stay. She had told me I could stay for like a week or two. This guy was coming to stay, and she didn't tell me I had to leave, but she didn't make it real comfortable. She didn't make me feel like I was welcome anymore. And I was like, let me just figure out what to do. And one of my friends cussed me out. She was like, you're staying at a hostel and you just got this money. Like, why do you have this mentality? Like, you don't need to stay in a hostel. This is crazy. Like, and I'm like, but it was a really nice hostel. And I like community living. That doesn't bother me. And I didn't. Anyway, so long story short, Julia picked me up the next day in some booty shorts. She pulled up and it had a mimosa in her hand. And we went hiking from there. We put my bags in the car. when it was crazy. We hiked with mimosas, and that was just the perfect way to get back in touch with you, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
What are we doing, us mid-40-year-old ladies hiking in the middle of the day with booty shorts and mimosas? I love our life.
I love it. I love it
Yeah.
too.
But anyways, I just wanted to say that's like kind of the time where I was like, oh my God. I'm like, do you want to be the producer of my Bologna Sandwich Show? And then you said yes. And then that's the history. Like
Yeah,
that's
and
the rest
I
of
came and
history.
stayed with you for a couple weeks,
Yeah, you
and
stayed with me
we definitely like dug deep into bologna. We were
Yeah.
we were knee deep in bologna.
We were
And that was fun. That was a really fun time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was I think that was like God ordained that you stayed with me and then we got in touch because you
Yeah.
believed in my Bologna Sandwich Show and that I've done different things with it, but you stayed with me. So I appreciate that. And whenever I have a question about something, technical stuff or like making a deck or like making my Turtle videos, you're the person that I call. So you're my producer. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Cause this show is very relevant. Like we got to stick together as 40 somethings with no kids. And I just think that once your audience finds you, it's
Yeah.
gonna be, that's all it is. You know what I mean? Like, and you already are getting like way more views and you've
Yeah.
changed the format a couple different times to try to see what works. What you have to do, you got to play around with it. So I'm
Yeah.
excited about the future of bologna.
Thank you. I'm glad that you're here. And my goal is I like doing the StreamYard thing. So my goal is to keep doing that because it's super easy. And this was your idea, by the way, because I'm like doing it at the studio, which was cool, but tons of editing. It was taking like so much, probably 20 hours to edit an episode, which is ridiculous. So anyways, I like the StreamYard thing. But yeah, we'll figure out what to do with all that, how to implement the weird, because I got to stay weird. I mean, my Twitter feeds are weird, but maybe it'll be the conversation that's fun and weird, and so I don't have to have the editing do the heavy lifting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I wanted to say that I got back into stand up like 2 weeks ago, and like your friend, was it Navette that stayed with you? Nate, and she told you, she told you the missing link in your life was stand up, and I really feel like all of a sudden I got excited about doing stand up, and I feel myself on stage. I've never felt so free and being able to just be myself on stage, and I'm like,
do you feel like it's a less hostile environment than when you first came? Because I know, you had a time with guys on the scene when that, yeah,
dude, male comedians were so, I don't know where it came from. It's like they were angry that I was a kind of cute white girl trying to get on stage, and they were like angry at me and jealous or something. They're so weird. But anyways, yeah, but there's still that weird stand-up comedy. This is a thing. There's people like us that are like confident and we know what we want and we're staying in our own lane, but you're filled around you is a cesspool of insecure people that don't like you, fellow comedians. And you have to just ignore it and you have to keep blinders on because people will try and make you feel like shit. They're jealous of you. They're jealous that you're confident. They're jealous of your material. They're jealous that you're good. They're jealous that we don't give a fuck. It brings in very insecure people. So you have to just like, I think maybe that's what I didn't do when I was back in it. I would let other people's feelings and thoughts affect me. So like definitely I feel like I don't care about them right now. This is what I'm doing. But anyways, I guess I would love to know how you got started on Uncivilized. And I also want to talk about how difficult it is to stick with a project and be the creator of it and not giving up. So go ahead.
Wow. This is such a loaded question because Uncivilized. So this is the long and the short of it. I came up with Uncivilized during COVID when I was at my parents' house and they have all these fancy TVs and you can watch 4 things at a time. And we could only depend on the news. And so I was watching all 4 of these networks and they were all some bullshit in their own way. And I just didn't feel like anybody was telling me the truth. I felt like they were all getting together to conspire against us. Nobody was telling us what was really going on. And we were all confined to our homes. And then not only that, but the way that the news was being reported, I don't know that I've ever noticed that before, because I hadn't really had cable. I wasn't even watching TV at all. Like, honestly, I wasn't watching TV in LA. I was hiking and doing other shit just outside. And so it was just such a white perspective, just such a whitewashed perspective of how everything was even being presented on the news. And I said, well, where's the real nigga news at? Like, there's no black people. There's nobody really reporting the news to us the way we receive things. You know what I mean? And you can say things in 100 different ways and they're still true. And, you know, it's almost like they try their damnedest to just use all these big words and just like these, you know, they expect you to know kind of what's happening in these terms they're using. And so anyway, I created Uncivilized during that. I was like, what if there was a show where it was a band, it was drinks, it was games, and the audience had a lot of participation, and it's not right or left. We don't lean either way. Although right now it seems like we lean a little more left because we don't have any. That's the only thing I feel like the show is missing is like a couple of right-wing voices that would want to come on and, you know, because I mean, it could be a hostile environment, you know, like with the audience there and everybody's pretty much, you know, looking at these gas prices, like, you know, it could be but a lot of black people are Trump supporters too. A lot of black people are right leaning, especially. I'm really surprised every time, honestly, at the audience. So we've done 5 shows so far. We used Texas. My dad had to have a knee replacement last year, and I came home for like 4 months to help him out. And I was like, I can't not do anything while I'm here. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely not. So I was like, well, maybe I could finally start Uncivilized. I had met a girl who was she was a political analyst. And that was kind of, so then this is the other part. The cast of the show, I always pictured as me, the comedian, a political analyst, and an attorney. So we found an attorney who's actually a DJ as well. So he was able to give his perspective from the DJ booth. And that's like a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down kind of way to present the new, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna listen to a DJ, what he has to say. Like, that's interesting. You know what I mean? A DJ that's an attorney. So the first show we invited 25 people and 75 people showed up. And I was like, oh my God, we have something. And then the people that were hitting us up afterwards and just like talking about the time they had and just the content, and just we had special guests on there. It was very, very interesting to see. And so this was kind of like our beta phase. And I just used Dallas as like a launch pad / workshop almost to see like how things should go and what should be different and and you know, the last show we had about 100 people, the last one we did. So we did 5 shows in Dallas altogether. And now we have shows coming up in Houston for Juneteenth weekend, which is going to be really dope. And one coming up in July in New York, and then one in August in LA.
Okay.
So, yeah.
This is amazing, Dicey.
Mm-hmm.
This is like, I like the fact too that this story or this idea was in your head, and it kind of took you being in a place where there was like, you're like, what am I going to do? I might as well do it.
Yeah.
And then doesn't it feel good too when you create your own thing?
Yeah.
Versus being an actor in LA when you're like doing auditions and you're like hoping somebody finds you. Even stand up in a way is like, I mean, stand up is good. You get to be your own boss and be your own, but you're hoping people like you. But anyways, what you're doing with Uncivilized, when you create your own shit, that's yours.
And in my case, I sat on the idea for years because I just started doing it last year. So it was like 5 years, but I went on and created a deck for it back then and just, kind of just breathed life into it. And it just grew, you know what I mean? Like the seed I planted. And then, because I believe once you put something on paper, it's a real thing. And it'll happen when it's supposed to happen. Like, but in my case, I was on a comedy tour for like 2 years almost back, and I just didn't have a chance to cultivate my own thing, which I had been yearning to do. Sometimes when you get stuck as a comic, this is back to comedy talk, you get stuck as a feature, you know what I mean? And it's not the best pay and it's not really a lot of notoriety to it. And I was getting tired of just being a serial feature and not really being able to work on my own thing at the same time. And I probably could have worked on my own thing at the same time, but I was going through my divorce. I was going through so many other things in my head. And I'm the kind of person also that just kind of needs to work on one thing at a time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I couldn't find the time to do anything else.
Mm.
So, had I still been on those tours and doing all those things, I probably wouldn't have sat back and done this myself, which
Yeah.
I've helped so many people create things that I've definitely gotten credit for, but it's for them though. And it's not mine, and I
Yeah.
really needed my own thing. And this allows me, I was like, you know what? I had to stop and think about it. Like, well, if I stop touring, am I going to get stuck at stand up or what? No, not at all. Like I got to trust the years, the time that I put into that.
Yeah.
I'm super strong on stage, and this is an opportunity for me to still showcase my stand up because, and tour with this show and produce and flex my producing and flex my stage, the artistic side, because I created all the
set was amazing. I saw
the set for the show.
Dude,
Yeah.
you're like incredible, Dicey. You are freaking incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm learning how to take compliments too, and I'm also learning to just live in the fact that I can do a lot of things, and that shouldn't be intimidating.
That probably comes from a little bit of Texas background. Your parents, like you guys have a farm, I think, or so you probably grew up doing a lot. Like you guys have your own vegetables, you grow your own shit, you make your own stuff, you do things, you do cool things, Dicey.
Thanks.
There's Jesus behind me on the
Hey Jesus. Hey white Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus. Oh, I should get a black Jesus for you.
You should. You could put Jesus in blackface. No.
Oh my God.
You could really get a Sharpie and that could be Black Jesus.
Should I do it?
Blackface Black Jesus?
Do you know
I don't think you could do it.
Dicey, you have to tell me because I will do it.
I know. No, don't do it.
I don't have that mental filter to tell me not to do something.
Don't paint him black, but you can get a black doll and name him Black Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure do that.
So I shouldn't make a video of me coloring his face and then
maybe if you could figure out a way to do that with the Erica Kirk stuff and like Drewski. Have you seen all that? If you could figure out a way to respond to all of that kind of stuff in that funny, but it has to definitely be in context. I don't people are just too sensitive. I know you don't mean anything by it, but
I know, but people
and it was my idea.
It was this was my black friend told me to do this.
That's so funny.
Can I say that as I'm doing it? And
I know I'm not your only black friend too. That's the other thing.
That's true.
I have a lot of black friends.
Yeah,
I have a lot of black friends.
I do. I always get along really well with black people and like non-white people. Maybe from the Bay Area. I don't know. I get along with everybody. But oh my God, this Erica Kirk thing. I am like, is this not a full-on Dateline episode that just keeps going and going and going? This stuff is crazy.
We can't write this shit. It's just insane. We can't write it.
Oh my God. Anyways, we both watched Dateline. So they should have a comedy Dateline where it's like stand-up comedy mixed with a story of somebody being murdered.
Yeah, they should.
How is that going to go?
I don't, not too well, but I watch Dateline to go to sleep every night, like my lullaby. If they're not talking about autopsies and something far more sinister.
That's another thing we bonded when we reconnected.
Yeah,
we both like Dateline, and I don't know if it's like I don't like the gory part of the story. I like how they figure it out.
Yeah,
like the detective part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I have really thin lips.
I just have fuller lips. I would like to get a couple of I think a couple shots would be real cute though. One day.
You're perfect. I mean, from what I'm seeing on the camera, you have a great mouth. Don't do it. Can you, I mean, I know you look younger than me, but still I look good though. I probably look my age
We're
now.
the same age.
I know, but what I'm saying is you look way younger than me, but even with that, we still look good. I'm 46, and so
Me
I'm
too.
46.
I'm
And
46. No,
listen,
I'm 46.
no, I'm 46. Wait, what day is your birthday? I always forget.
September 29th. You're the 25th, right?
Yeah, I'm older than you.
Yeah, just by
I'm
like
your,
4 days.
I'm your
You're my
elder.
elder. Yes.
I'm your white elder.
You're my white elder.
Yeah. I do want to say what I loved about Marty's. Marty's was this very like hole in the wall stand-up comedy joint in Hollywood. And I loved that there was so much diversity there. And you could be so real and so honest and be on stage for like sometimes 20 minutes to 30 if there's nobody there. But I feel like you could really develop yourself there. I don't know if there's I don't know, Dicey, if there's any place like that in LA right now. I went to an open mic and they do this whole thing where it's like, don't say anything misogynistic, don't say any da da da. And then they do like this. I'm not even gonna, I just feel like sometimes I'm like, oh my God, what happened?
See, this is why I don't go to women mics. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
comedy is still comedy, you know? And for those and yes, it's a hostile environment. Look, I get hit on a lot. I have gone through a lot in these comedy streets. And you know, I also know how to hold my own though. Yes, it's annoying. Yes, I definitely wish that if you were trying to proposition me to sleep with you for a 10-minute set, that you definitely go proposition this man too. If you ask, like, you know, if it's equal sexual harassment, you know what I mean, where you're sexually harassing the men and the women, cool, but don't single me out. So, but I'm saying all that to say,
Yeah.
women, sometimes we just gotta grow some balls,
I know.
you know what I mean?
And,
Like,
and
and I hate to say it, but this always white women. It's always white women.
probably. And I want to tell you, their material isn't going to be funny. It's going to
Yeah.
be borderline funny. It's not going to get people in a crowd to be like, oh my God, that's funny. It's going to make you and your little habitat laugh at whatever dumb
That's
shows
it.
you do. And I don't feel bad saying that. I'm a white woman in LA doing stand-up comedy, so I can say this. I'm going to do a comedy show where no white women are allowed except for me. And I'm going to have my Black Jesus.
You know, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, white Julia and friends.
Why Julia and friends? It'll say no whites allowed. I would love for you, if you want to go into this, some of the bullshit that you dealt with in the comedy streets, like probably not so much now, but back in the day, like sounds like
it's a lot now too.
Tell me what you feel comfortable talking about.
Yeah. Bullshit in the comedy streets. I think women can be really mean to each other sometimes, and Black women especially. I think that they pit us against each other and make it seem like there's only one spot or one space, you know, at a time for one of us. And really, that's not true, especially now with Instagram. And that wasn't like a thing when Instagram wasn't really a thing when we started doing comedy, you know, It was just becoming a thing. And I don't even know if you could you couldn't even upload videos then. Remember, it was only pictures for a long time. So, but now you can build your own audience. Like, it's just not, to me, it's just not the same thing. You don't have to live in LA anymore, which I really appreciate.
Yeah.
But there's just a lot of politics involved in comedy. But on the flip side of that, though, the content that I'm talking about as a Black woman, which is completely Black material, but it's not necessarily material that resonates with Black audiences. So as a Black woman, I thrived in those white spaces. You know what I mean?
They love you.
Like they love me all, like, and that's dope. You know what I mean? Like, you can't help who your comedy resonates with. I shit on white people through my whole set. You've seen it. Like, they love it. And my comedy is more cerebral, and I kind of just stand in one place. Not that Black comedy is not cerebral, but Black people want to see you running around, and you know what I'm saying? They want to see a little more spunk than what I have to give. I kind of stand in one place on stage. And yeah, so and now I think that some of the bullshit that I encounter is just me putting people together and then them forgetting all about me, or like acting like, my opinions don't matter on projects that I put together and that were my idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what to do about this one situation, but part of me is like, you know what? You just got so much other good stuff coming for you. I booked something really big kind of recently and in LA, and I couldn't get back there because of the blizzard. It was like the week of the blizzard, but the calls that have been coming and the things that have been happening have just really led me to believe that, like, that's the wave, that's the energy, and that's the wavelength that I'm on right now. And
Yeah.
there'd be a lot of other things like that to come about too. Like, am I really should I concern myself with some bitches who, just some bitches? I really shouldn't.
Yeah.
So
And
maybe I should just continue to do my own thing like I've been doing. And I think Uncivilized is going to really, really blow up. It's just very expensive to produce each episode. So
okay.
the last one we did, I had a sponsor where I was able to pay because it's a lot of moving parts. It's just like a late night show, and it's so many people involved in that. But that's what I want. I want it to continue to be that. And if I can't produce episodes, high quality, I don't want to do them at all. Like I'll just, and we've been doing, I'm now finally getting our Instagram going, and we're doing lives like this. Like, this is how you became part of StreamYard. It's because I was still figuring it out. Now you're telling me shit about it.
I know.
But yeah, so I just got to keep going with my own thing, always. So and comedy is an individual effort. It's kind of like track, it's like it's a real, and you're part of a team and a conglomerate, but for the most part, it's just you. It's the individual thing, and I just need to get back to that and trust myself and know that I'm funny and that I can do whatever I want to do with this.
Yeah, and also too, I think you hit the nail on the head when you were like, there isn't anything for Black audiences. So you're finding a need and you're filling it. That's one of the things that makes something work, is finding a need and filling it. And the Bologna Sandwich Show is a place that's super weird, and you can be yourself and you can't take yourself seriously. But with Uncivilized, you have a huge audience there, and you get to use your voice and do what you want. So if it's something that you feel like you're missing, guaranteed a lot of people are feeling like that's missing. So yeah. And I totally believe in this. I can't wait to see what happens with it. And yeah, you're super talented. I'm so glad that we're friends still, and we haven't given up on this. It's almost like, I want to hear your opinion, but I kind of feel like it's this thing with me. It's like, I need to get this done. I can't settle until I fully put myself in this and at least see the Bologna Sandwich Show or my stand-up like take off. Like, no one can give this to me. No, and first of all, like, no one's asking me to do this. So it's like we're having hope and living on a dream that no one asked us to do it, but we believe in it.
Yeah.
It's like,
and it's already done. It's already done, and the desires have been put in our heart. I don't even know what my mom the other day, she was like, now, you can come home whenever you want to. And I was like, and do what? And do what? There's no entertainment industry in Dallas. Like, I would love to be here. And part of me was like, oh, are they even giving up on me? Like, it happened years. I've had really good things happen though throughout that time, but it's just so far in between. You can't pick when it's going to happen or when the money, the money comes and money goes, mostly goes.
Yeah. I mean, I think probably the goal with this is that the show takes off. You're the creator of it. You make your money. And then from there, you can almost like, it's a snowball effect. Your name is out there. People want to work with you. Now it's almost like when it happens, I had Murphy on my show, Murph, do the StreamYard. And he was saying that's the same thing. It's like all of a sudden it just happens. And then the snowball.
Yeah, because Murph is doing really good right now.
Yeah.
He's doing really good. We went to lunch a couple times when I was there last time.
Yeah.
In LA last time. Yeah. He's a good friend of both of ours. We love Murph.
Yeah. He's one of those people. I mean, you have to like, it's just a grind. It's a grind.
Yeah.
But with your show, it's just so good. There's no way it's not going to work. And then the effects of it and like the winnings that you're going to get from it, it's a snowball. And it's just like waiting for that moment. And there's so much, I feel like so much of a spirituality that goes behind this because you have to believe in it, prayer, meditation, whatever that is. Like, I believe that we're called to do this. We're supposed to be doing this. And that's spiritual. That's like a whole other conversation. But yeah. So did I talk over you too much?
No, definitely not. I talked a lot. No, I think they know they hopefully have a good perspective of
What
who I
was
am now, you know?
yeah,
Thank you for having me, Julia's audience.
you're welcome. And StreamYard, it doesn't really push your live out. Like if I go live on YouTube from the app, it'll push you out to tons of people. But StreamYard, it's like a third person. So it doesn't really, but a lot of my views come through replays. But I wanted people to see you, Dicey, and like people to know who you are and you're part of the show. You're like the behind the scenes a lot too. So it's fun that now you're on the show. And
we talk every week or a couple times a week, really.
Yeah, we'll text and I'll ask your thoughts. She believes in my turtitoids. You're the reason why I freaking kept going too. Oh my gosh, Dicey, you are like such a part of this journey, as they say, with my Bologna Sandwich Show and believing in my turtitoids and knowing that they are like weird. Because I think you're the one that was like, help me be like, oh my God, this is so good.
It's so funny. It's nothing like it. And especially no 40-plus-year-old is doing anything that silly and cool. And, there's so many of us out there that don't take ourselves seriously and are, you know what I mean?
Do you have a lot of friends in your life? Do you have a lot of friends that are like us, like this age, they're doing this?
I have a lot of friends in their 40s who are, I feel like, going through a midlife crisis. And I don't feel like, me and you, we're the kind of people that just do what we want to do anyway, but so many people haven't done that. And they did what they thought was safe, which probably was, because at least they gonna have like a 401k and like, but are you happy? And do you feel fulfilled? You know what I mean? Like, I feel very fulfilled doing this and pursuing this, and I love it. So did I answer your question or what?
Yeah. I mean, actually, that's kind of, I wanted to hear your thoughts on it and having faith and pushing through and doing what we do.
Doing what we do,
dude. So, well, I guess this is good for today. We'll definitely do another StreamYard again.
Yeah. And we got to talk about all kind of stuff. I would love to come on and just be like, if you have 3 or 4 people on one day just talking about shit, I would love to be on.
Yeah, that would be a super cool thing, spitballing and talking about comedy or whatever. And also, I just want to say, as the show progresses, I'll figure out ways to implement funny videos so we keep it like the weirdness that it's always been, but with good interviews. I want to have good interviews and then have like weirdness involved. So, So is there anything else you want to say? Do you want to plug?
I just love your hair and the highlights. They're very cute.
Thank you. I love my highlights too.
They're very cute. That's some good highlights.
Yeah, the guy who did it, he's gay. That's why you have to have a gay hairdresser.
Is that the one that did it last time too?
Yeah, he's been doing it.
He did the darker and because it looks so like shiny and
he did my hair.
Done. Yeah, it's cute.
He's in the area. He likes my turtitoids too.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. So anyways, Dicey, I love you so much. And thank you for being here. Check her out. She is, what is your, it's underscore, I want to tell them. It's underscore Dicey. No, it's just at Dicey approved. At Dicey approved on Instagram. And if you guys are in the Houston area, she's doing shows out there. Follow her on Instagram. And you also have an Uncivilized.
The Uncivilized Instagram is Uncivilized Show, at Uncivilized Show.
And explain like in a few sentences what Uncivilized is.
Uncivilized is the political trap house. It is our tagline is "Come get this news." That's, you know what I mean? Like it's where the news gets jumped. Yeah.
I love that.
Hmm.
Super cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's amazing. All right, Dice, I'll cut up some like clips and then
Okay.
I'll post it on Instagram. But you don't have to put it on your page, but you could share it to your story. You know what I mean?
Sounds good.
Okay, I love you.
Love you. Bye, friend.
Bye. Yeah, bye everybody. Bye, Dicey.
Bye.